they did the first. Redux on that, Yoru narrate on that Waylay. They've been loving the double duelist. In contrast to 100 Thieves, who've not been playing it a whole lot. Very much just this solo Tino Waylay for the most part.
All right, moments away from jumping here into split. 100 Thieves on the attack side. Cryo, of course, now picking up that controller responsibility on quite a few maps. Beyond that Viper, well, maybe not expecting him to opt, but there's still plenty of candidates looking at Tino in particular to take that route. And they are going to quietly cross this very standard Viper wall setup.
And now counter wall for the defenders to play off of. Good spot one player's head. Great saturate. Asuna caught right now, but won't go down. Yes, he will. Kayu with the spam.
Good saturate. Kayu's not going to be able to walk away. Asuna, brave, hung around
Yep.
after being saturated. Had no choice, nowhere to go really, but it ends up being an even trade, leaving the A side open for 100 Thieves to hit.
Wow, Tino is just so fast to get into screens there. That's a nice heads-up play. Now, Cryo was just out in the open getting that orb before. Felt safe because there were two players in heaven, but nope. Redux teleporting over, getting there quick. Let's see if John can do more John things. Not on the Teo, now on the Omen. They have a Paranoia.
And two smokes, honestly. He's got all of his util. He's going to be able to cover up heaven here. Maybe even that A main angle. They still need to find a way to get into elbow. Bang will be avoiding that Paranoia as he's playing up on the side properly, but Cortesia, sharp as they come! In the blink of an eye, the 2v3 completed with flair. Sentinels, not many teams can pull that kind of moment out, but Cortesia and John back-to-back get it done.
100 Thieves not doing anything wrong there. They triple swung onto two players, but the individual skill shining for Sen in that moment. Cortesia, obviously, such a talented shooter in the form that John is just stunning at the moment.
Right there? There's more.
No. See that remarkably clean.
Come on, let's go!
Got to get off to the races early after a crashing loss in map number 1, a close map that it was. And obviously Sentinels have a bucky for narrate. They've already gone up to that Outlaw for Redux, so they do mean business.
Oh, a little messy, but he's out of there. All good, all good. Tino trying to capitalize off those misses and the forced retreat. And in the meantime, it was 100 Thieves just sending out that flash into B main from their sky, see if it gets a ping, see if anyone pushed up. They did not, so they get control of that extremity, able to get an orb as well out of it.
Now up mid, narrate waiting inside this smoke.
Loves his Bucky.
That's a pretty valid spot to take that in the second round. So realistically, 100 Thieves haven't done a whole lot across the map. They've got no real advance on this A side either. Obviously, Cryo just playing passive Lurk there for now.
Redux just sending his gate crash over into screen, so can play back sight, try and rectify those earlier shots with the Outlaw. A miss, and he does.
Yep, that's one down, more to come. You'd have to imagine Kayu inside the smoke. And Redux finds his second. That Outlaw still at large, of course, as Asuna has to go for the plant, leaving Bang with only a small amount of health back towards main. And Senna checking for it on ramps. Again, classics, bear that in mind. Only so much you can really do here. I love the slow orb. But Bang can't see the wood for the trees right now. Hard for him to get involved. He got the drop of Cortesia. There is a Guardian to be picked up there potentially. He's got it, but Redux catches him. He tries to back up there in heaven.
Yep, finishes that off with the triple. Going to get this orb from the defuse as well. So close to that dimensional drift pretty early. 100 Thieves content with that there. A couple kills. They got the orb over in B main, get the spike down. So they accomplish some side missions in this round for sure.
Let's see how it went down. Redux just playing passive lines for the most part after almost getting caught out early in the round. 4-1 so far in this Yoru, so close to that first dimensional drift.
Redux obviously in that last series had a major bounce back as the Yoru from week 1. An uncharacteristic, just bad performance from him that he immediately found some rejuvenation from.
I mean, he was 11-4 rather, first kill, first death in that second game.
So series was real standout.
Right, for two very contrasting results. Cryo here's done pretty well, catnapping the entirety of Sentinels, at least 3 of them, and even gets Redux for his trouble. That Outlaw, of course, runs into its natural predator, the full armor.
Yeah, full armor is in every single 100 Thieves player's hands, with good reason. They're expecting that Outlaw, so that's a nice opening pick. I like this from Sen. It's pretty bold, double push out, just to retake this space. Bavora, Cryo for its potential. Bucky not too effective at that angle. Wow, Caillou wins that out with the SMG.
Still mid is open here for 100 Thieves. They're going to go for it. Yeah, Sentinels have got that A side information, but hit B with an advantage scenario. Better guns, that's the plan for 100 Thieves right now.
But it's John and Cortesia anchoring. That's still scary.
Okay, that snakebite ended up in hell. I'm not sure if that was the plan on upper.
Spike down B.
So it's going to be avoided for the most part, and now it's really just the stragglers for Sentinels have to get in position, allowing 100 Thieves to control that upper side and bang forward.
Got to pay attention to the weak HP on these 100 Thieves players, though, but that sharp from Bang and should seal this up.
It's just Caillou, of course. There is that Sage wall in play. Not that he really has the time to go all the way back through spawn. Seas doesn't catch. Make sound there on the rope. So Bang will find his third on the round. 100 Thieves get in on their first buy.
Yeah, that was well done. You know, even though things got a little bit messy on A with that repush from Sen, I like that decision. And Caillou had a pretty shocking 1v1 win against Cryo, who was on the angle. He just had that Spectre. But 100 Thieves are able to make a nice fast pivot, splitting into B, pinching the 2 anchors, and just a bit too much to deal with. Cortesia and John without weaker weaponry.
One enemy remaining.
Felt pretty straightforward. 100 Thieves make the response to a deep extension by Sentinels on the A side. Pretty elementary to bounce over towards B and just try and flood it. So here we are. Timeout going to get called pretty early on in the piece here. It might be Coach Kaplan trying to get into his players' ears. I mean, it takes some juggernaut coaches to, you know, put Kaplan under pressure. Doombros, for those that don't know, someone who was coaching so early on in Valorant, coached FPX, Na'Vi as well, was really around in the mixture a long time. NBS, of course, who spent some time coaching, was it Ascend, I want to say?
Ascend,
coached Ascend. And then
TSM.
Yeah, I mean, we watched him coach TSM, and obviously he was, you know, in Eastern Europe. He's up in the middle of the night for all of those games. Just locked in. Fantastic run with that team. So between the two of them, we've already seen what 100 Thieves cook up in that first map. And it's not like this is the first time they've had coaches that like to innovate, right? I think Zix was definitely cut from that same kind of cloth. But yeah, this is quite a step forward for 100 Thieves so far. Off to a great start.
It really is good to see Doombros back in that position. So highly regarded, felt nonsensical that he was lacking a coaching role anywhere for what felt like kind of a long time, honestly. So he definitely deserves this spot.
We've already seen the corrode comp from them so far. So they come into the season with good ideas. As has been the case, and actually something 100 Thieves always seem to suffer, is that teams start to adapt to what they do on a couple of maps. It was the case with their Bind last year, right? That was such a strong map for 100 Thieves, and they just got figured out after a while. It's going to say the same with Sentinels on Lotus. That was the kind of map that they were looking really good on, but put a lot of footage out there, gave a lot of hungry coaches chances to adapt, and all of a sudden, those home maps for these teams weren't so great anymore.
Yeah, Split was one of the maps, and I mean, evidently is that Sen were always using as a home way back to when John first joined this team. This map, Sunset, that they were always relying on, always at the top of their pool. So it did feel strange that their first outing, they were so off kilter, but picking into it, obviously feeling confident that they can bounce back, and maybe also feeling that it's just the simple initiator change that they were regretting leaning into that Tejo and immediately finding better results, just going back to the traditional fade here.
Yeah, and like John did sort of talk about this. He didn't feel last week the Sentinels' woes really originated from these interesting initiator picks, right? He specifically mentions the Sky, you know, on Breeze, for example. And I think, like, you know, reasonable minds might differ on that point, but you know, he really cites a lot of communication issues, standard jitters. He also mentions that, you know, he had a chat with Ravish, just where I heard it. He does still do a lot of supporting calling for Caillou. So he's still very much involved in those conversations, just at times where they maybe don't limit his ability to frag out and to be a wrecking ball in the server.
Yeah, just doesn't need to completely take the reins in that situation. We were almost back into it. But back to a quick tech pause for the gear.
Yeah, it looks like we were a couple of moments from heading in, folks, but that's just been delayed for the time being. And again, like I kind of circled around to it, you know, when you are Sentinels, you have less of a runway, or it feels like you have less of a runway. I think you were mentioning the Kaplan was commending his players for, you know, Sentinels players don't have as much room to grow and to make those mistakes. Feels like as soon as the doors open, everyone is expecting excellence from them. So that's an extra burden you bear when you're on this roster, but it looks like they're taking to it well. And that's what Kaplan seems to indicate anyway. Round 4 here for you, folks. Sentinels up by 1. Both teams are bought in.
Shadows. Definitely a match to prove that opener against Furia is just going to be a blip on the radar for the Sentinels team, who bounced back against EG and already, frankly, looking good against 100 Thieves, pushing them to the limit on a map that they were so dominant on. Just slowly working up that ramp side again. Cryo in trouble. Swing from Narrate to assist his IGL.
He's actually going to repost up now as the walls come up. He wants to play closer towards heaven. So pretty insistent on trying to at least get something for his money in that side. If 100 Thieves really lean in, but that's a kill that really hurts. Now you don't have that wedge in the middle of the map. You don't have the ability to rotate in through ropes. It's honestly an information blackout for Sentinels on so much of the map now.
With still enough time for 100 Thieves to peel off and try and hit towards that B side, and that does look like the idea. Going to work up mid as a unit. I mean, if they wanted to, Ben could even, you know, go for a quick TP into site just to do a little info gain. SEN have the idea, though. They are reading into this. They're stacking the B side. They have a legit shot of holding this down with 3 players set up. There's that info TP.
On the side we go. Timo fighting for it. Has to deal with that haunt, though, and Cryo has the room. Or at least it's been traded out. That is nicely done. Now it's on John, 30 health. In that 1 versus 2. Vora sprayed down slightly, but Bang is going to be able to get this plant stuck, and John TP's across the way.
Just trying to get that spam kill when Bang was on the rotate. Oh, man, I mean, just a little bit of damage from that Shorty is more than enough.
Bang implies a TP to rafters. John has to just stick on the one angle anyway, and he's being waited for with the Shorty. That pick on Cortezia in mid, punishing for Sentinels as 100 Thieves get to work the map.
Really does feel like we've seen a disgusting amount of shortying and buckying in 2026 so far. That's a bad omen for where we're headed in the meta. That Shorty is just the best weapon up close.
Let's go, man.
Dangerous, but Vora really stepping up there. Seemed like SEN were going to pull it off when they get those first 2 kills, but able to snap onto Redux.
Where are you?
Standard B-garage presence here for the attackers, and there's Narrate with a bit of flair. Timo can't respond, can't interact with him until he decides to take things into his own hands.
I mean, what was I just saying, man? This is what I'm talking about. This state of the game. Modern Valorant, just dashing in with shotguns. It is so silly, but there's a reason it's happening. It is just so effective with Waylay being just the best duelist at the moment. Because that's not a real duelist. That's just
an initiator.
He's everything. Yeah, I mean, he's just everything, so that doesn't count.
Cortez there dinks Timo pretty hard. He has to run back and get some Sage healing. And that little interaction is actually a pretty big deal that allows SEN to stack this B side, or at least that heaven to mid position.
Feels like last round playing out much like this one. 100 Thieves just working their way through B main. Some Sentinels players towards that B side, 3 of them, but not anchoring like they were on that prior. A little boost for Tino there. And it should be easy for 100 Thieves to clean up at this point. Wall down, much better weaponry.
Bang also threatening that late lurk up mid. Timo boosted up, unexpected for Cryo there. That Sage wall really messes with the calculus a little bit. Timo looks like he might be still hungering. Bang should have a timing here easily. John not ready for it, still able to reach for the sidearm. Bang dropped low. Justifiably doesn't want to fight any longer. But Redux and Cortezia are going to be caught here on stairs. Hoping for exits, but really not pinning their fates on any more than that.
One enemy remaining.
I mean, that's a little unfortunate. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
we got there.
Okay, oh yeah. This is fine, this is fine. For Asuna, they were one away from the orb, so I was going to see if they would try to chase, hunt a little bit, but I think Vor only had 300 left in the bank, so all good. On this round, they can just try to contest for some of these orbs. And this could be an explosive all round coming up.
This early exchange here is tough to follow, but essentially it's just both waylays dashing in and getting out.
His teammate died and he gave me ult. That's actually unreal.
That is the convergent paths, the one ult for 100 Thieves, but yeah, they're one orb away from 3 of them at the moment. I mean, and same can be said for Cortez, Narrate. This could be a very explosive round.
Yeah, I'm anticipating volatility. He's the guiding light, so expect John to be up there on that box apparently, but Redux is able to trade into it.
That's some crazy awareness. Wall down, res attempt from Asuna. I mean, Head should be poking over the top if someone was in heaven, but yeah, Cortez able to just get that free kill from Rafters.
Redux kind of got forced away though by that slow orb, had to get back, and now it's just out and out fighting in the open. And honestly, that looked a little bit lackluster there from Sentinels. They had to anchor. They didn't want to give up the side entirely against the Sage, which I understand. They don't do a whole lot when the sparks start to fly.
Yeah, that felt pretty routine and light on support. Cryo just on the lurk, getting some free, easy kills. That's 2 of them. That felt like one of the simplest rounds I've ever seen in the history of this game.
The sheer contrast in body language is insane here, Wyatt.
They really just walked in and shot them together. This was pretty sick from Tino having that read. Easy for Cortezia off the res. But yeah, in this moment, they just both drop down, their back pillar.
Man, how is John late TPing? Come on, bruh.
And they go down with ease. And then Cryo just flanks and gets 2.
Yep.
I mean, all right. Easy as that. So they're going to have enough for this next buy out of the timeout. Kaplan getting in the mix. Trying to keep cool, calm, and collected. I mean, the man said he hates losing, and we definitely see that. He gets passionate, but he's just trying to remind himself and understand that, you know, with the team, young, new players, they're not going to be perfect right away. You know, he was saying over on the LATAM broadcast and interview, they're not perfect right now. They're not going to be perfect in scrims just yet, but as long as every week he's seeing them make those improvements and those strides, that winning is just going to come naturally as they make, you know, those improvements, continue to learn.
Yeah, it's definitely when there's not that upward trajectory being displayed where it can get frustrating, right? When you feel like you're running against a brick wall. Sentinels absolutely need to amass a couple more of these defense side rounds, and they've got a bank of ultimates in order to do so. I'm very curious to see how Narrate wants to make use of this. We saw from 100 Thieves, actually, like them trying to counter ults and push up ramps, for example. But Narrate's really leaning on this heavy B and mid presence right now. It's just the Cryo over at A.
Bang, by the way, just off to a hot start against his former team, sat at 9-2. This is 100 Thieves all gathered up, ready to execute over on this A side. 5 players, dog to clear out close on ramp. Ensure that no one is tucked in that corner. It's going to make it nice, free, and easy for Tino to get up there. Real close. Conversion paths into heaven. Did they try to go off the back of it? Yeah. Retreats.
Not sure what Timo sees that actually makes him want to recall there. Maybe just feels like he's a little too far ahead. Either way, Redux is bogged here with that slow orb in play. 100 Thieves definitely have that heaven control, and they've got plant down. Smoke over towards screens, Viper's Pit after the fact. Everything looking good for the attack side.
Sen are getting a bit sloppy here. Caillou rips that Nightfall really early. Sen are not in position to do anything off the back of it. Redux going to get some info towards heaven, sure. This retake is going to have to be extremely coordinated now.
Here's the convergent pass that started off. Arsene is still inside the pit. Don't be fooled. He is obscured. And Narrate's going to be brought down by Fang through the pit itself. Vora, seen better days, but in a position to surprise. Flash into the pit for Redux. He's going to go for it. Nothing to see yet so far with Vora on the outside. And Cryo's found 2 inside it with a Shorty. That's without reloading, by the way. Caillou and Cortez decayed down far enough that he makes mincemeat of them.
All of the ultimates expended by Sen on that retake. That's Nightfall into Drift into Paths, all to try and counter that pit, and it just didn't work out. It felt like
bringing a kid to work day. Sentinels just watching as 100 Thieves moved in and took all this space.
Oh, that's so nasty from Cryo. The Shorty.
Jordan,
meta.
I was so lost. I was shooting at you, bro. I was so lost, bro.
But yeah, I feel like the sequencing with some of those ults there a little bit off. I mean, maybe that was Vor just feeling like he was about to be rushed down, so he Nightfalls anyway. Here's Tino with some crazy pace. Look at that.
I mean, not even a chance to get crash away if there was even one ready. Redux completely caught out. John here tucked. Nice. Timo he's quick with it, man. On a hair trigger, that guy is, and he whips to deal with the Omen.
Yeah, that is tough. And this round, good as done. Both SEN players just going through mid right now. I mean, Austin is just putting a wall in B main. Sure. Can't get flanked there. Why not?
He's creative with it. I'm glad that he makes use of it even in rounds when there are no opponents alive anymore.
Yep.
It's also
no matter the circumstance.
Very diligent.
He's just too dialed. Just too dialed. Cortezia not even an opportunity to get this Outlaw shot off.
If it's not clear to folks at home, we're certainly considering this round to be all but over.
Also, by the way, in that previous one, Cortezia used the pit in mid right away, and 100 Thieves just storm into the A site.
Yep.
So that was 4 ults from SEN in that loss.
Yeah, so like convergent pass thrown in that wasn't able to be followed up on because that Viper's pit was in play. It's just dimensional drift there. Saw a little bit of information, but not a convincing use of those ults at all.
Awesome.
He was putting a wall up. Putting a wall up. Don't worry about it.
His second wall.
Yep.
All right, bye coming through for SEN. What is the move here?
Look at this for Tiff. Oh man, and he's just up on that box too. And Bang is there for the
he's just ready for that swing. That's nice. That's a nice setup. I feel like we were seeing SEN go for a lot more aggression on defense in their opening, but hasn't really come so far. You know, there were, I feel like, a few more of those like A main, dashing in with narrate, supplemental utility type plays. But okay, so 100 Thieves, they just want to go right back into this A hit, but that's a fast combo over towards ramp if an anchor was there.
Refract active. Timo doesn't try and test the wall. In fact, this is really just a bit of a fake. It hasn't really had the intended effect, though, despite mid being pretty lightly held. SEN are happy just to keep 2 players on A.
Yeah, no motion from SEN, and then a late Prowler just came out from Caillou. Obviously spots nothing over an A main, and a Haunt now that reposts narrate.
And they smoke mid here just in case they're going to be dealing with a split because they've got no presence there.
Yeah, Cortezia is watching towards Heaven. Redux with the AWP on main.
Yeah, SEN don't have, 100 Thieves don't have information about this Heaven setup though, so they are going to be checking for it. They're going to be smoking for it. Here's Timo trying to catch on to John there, who opts to TP out of trouble. 100 Thieves have a real strong foothold now on their side, but they're going to move into the open. Cortez is only good for 1 here. Narrate drops down, has to refract away, but actually could have found a kill potentially. It's Caillou though, off the Prowler to get that info. Now 3 kills where it really matters. Leaves Asuna alone.
What a demon play. 30 seconds remaining for
30
Asuna.
seconds
Can
left.
self-heal, at least back to 100. 25 seconds. What is the move? Does he want to try to run it all the way to A? Does he even have time to do that? Or just go back through Heaven?
We see the commitment here for Sentinels. They are at B.
Yeah, no, he'll be fine on
10 seconds
time.
left.
Surely, yeah. All right, let's see if Austin can clutch it out. He's been in a few of these 1 versus 2 situations. Had 2 opportunities, I think, back on the road. And came so close with that one insane snapshot.
So a little bit of extra cash there for 100 Thieves, but importantly, a chance to win the round. Asuna in a 1 versus 2.
Look, SEN need this bad. They have to close this out.
SEN can clear that corner, though, with this saturate.
Oh,
goes in! Narrates down, but where? Where is John? He doesn't know! And John with the classic is able to get his team out of there. Yep.
What? Why did he have that one out there? I mean, that's fine. That is fine.
Looks like he might have just touched down, so I'm not sure. Might have been a bit hurried either way. Not punished for it. Takes no damage in that exchange, but it's a little bit of a sheepish look on the Moroccan's face.
Austin just keeps coming so close in these clutches. Wow, what a shot from Caillou.
Yo! How does he just drop and insta me?
With a classic.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Hunter still with a nice lead here so far on attack. Could try to get an orb Austin his way. That'll give him the res for this round. Timatino getting close as well to the paths. See how much Cryo tries to work this A side, or does he just attempt to contain in the 1-3-1?
Honestly, the only action we've sort of seen on this A side is when Timo has been here.
Oh, feeling bold and presence is known.
Cryo's just been waiting for over pushes, I think, and has just been waiting for a rotate back to that side of the map, where there's like that mid-round hit for Hunter Thieves towards A.
Real patience on this attack so far. We've seen Hunter Thieves absolutely mix up the pace and have some cool set ideas to do it as well. Hot flash on a Cortez, and they try to sync that up with the hinder, but it doesn't work out.
Cryo actually pushed up. He went in that Rams direction, but Narrate was holding that angle. Now though, big heaven presence for Hunter Thieves. They've got the wall as well.
Look at that Sen rotate. They know this is going to end be 4 players ready to go, ready to anchor.
There's the wall. Arsena gets that one ready. Tino extends out. It's a clone that he's shot now, unsure about where the rest of them are. Another flash off the side, and here's Narrate for his second. Cortez catches Timo actually inside a snake bite of all things. Vora v4. Tough odds for anybody. Does he do an Arsena here? Thinks about. He's on the rope. Okay. I guess.
But now on the
rocks
rope,
up on people. Yeah.
Hunter Thieves, they're running it back. Let's see if Vora can succeed in this same situation that Arsena was just in.
Unlike Arsena, he can't heal himself. That's the issue. One of them at least. Okay, slightly different plant location. Oh, tries to get ahead of the game. I respect it, but Vora was simply out in the open as Sen came to call.
Big round there from Narrate. That initial pickoff onto Cryo, that really gave the game away as to what Hunter Thieves were intending on doing, right? Yeah, that moment there, and then rotates over in time, gets the kill on Arsena, but not only was he there, 3 other players from Sen just within the premises of that B site and absolutely shut down the Thieves.
And for the other 10 rounds.
I saw the world. Insta boom and then 1v1.
Nice shot,
bro. Oh, these rounds are really...
I mean, Cryo for the last 10 or so rounds has never pushed further than kind of where he is right now. So kind of getting punished for that one time he decides to walk up. There's an extra player at A this round.
Yeah, looks like the move is to set up a bit of a crossfire over on ramp from Sen, and in the meantime, it's Timatino picking up the AWP here. So expecting a bit of a slower work from 100 Thieves, hoping that Timatino can just exposing himself.
What?
Oh my god, his awareness, man, on this site is crazy.
Just walks up with the offset. It's absurd. He knows Narrate's there. Conversion pass comes out. Narrate cannot escape. Man, these guys got absolutely slapped down by the waylay. Timo absolutely brazen.
Spike planted.
Onto the side. And Redux was, I mean, it's the weak side, so they make the right call. Redux just doesn't have an opportunity to react at all, and Sentinels are wondering why they should even bother.
I love that 100 Thieves can play with that electric pace there and just insta-dive off that pick, 0 hesitation. And that's how they're able to get the kill onto Narrate. And honestly, something that I've always liked about Arsena when he's on these flex rolls, especially when he's playing the KO, is that he is fearless at keeping pace with his duelists when they're fully activated. He does not hesitate in supporting in those situations, being a second guy in. He's right there to capitalize off of what Timatino is doing. And 100 Thieves now with the economy in a solid place, they can go hunting. Sen need these guns bad. Really only Caillou in danger, and he goes down.
I'm really glad you addressed, like, it's not just Timo, but the player that's with him. It's every time Timo falls back, refracts away, there's another player that steps in.
Yeah, that is always why I liked Arsena in these flex rolls.
Jeez, man. There just is not an option for you there. Narrate is scrabbling to try and respond in a timely fashion. But unfortunately, he's having another really difficult map so far. I'm not buying into, you know, the narrative that Bang's trying to put out there. But so far, Narrate has not been able to exert his will on the server.
Neither is John switching off that Teo so far. Timatino timings have to go forward. This is such a sick play. The confidence that this guy exudes, but not just the confidence, the real sense for how the game is just operating around him to get in these positions. He's got the mechanics, but he's also got the smarts.
Now, that kind of like went back past Narrate, so he 100% has the timing here, but the game has gotten away from him a little bit.
But that is allowing Redux to now quickly move over towards the B side. 3 players can anchor this. They've got a chance, especially if Narrate finds the timing window to assist. If he can get there.
Oh, I don't know if he has time. Look at them accelerating onto the site. And again, Narrate's going to be caught outside of the play. He can't afford to speed up and give away his position, but his teammates are going to be dead by the time he gets there. Cortez needs to buy some moments, and that's all he's going to get. But now there's a res into an extra player. Cryo's back. Narrate might be good for 1 here, but eventually a cat's going to be out the bag. And 100 Thieves are going to touchdown after an attack side with 8 rounds to their name.
What a round, again, from Timo and Asuna. They are just so fast. He's taking great timings, and then Asuna is right there. On that execute back in, Timo spots out the player. He doesn't get the kill with the Shorty, but immediately, look at the 100 Thieves players there, rushing him down. Cryo and Asuna, no hesitation. This guy really understands how to use this Waylay kit to the max.
Pretty insane stuff from 100 Thieves, a very gainful attack side with a 4-round lead. We'll be back to see the conclusion of Split, though, just after these messages.
Red Bull gives you wings.
And it's not like this is the first time we've seen this Tino guy just kind of run it down in the server. I feel like in challenges, you know, he came onto that TSN team as someone who would just kind of go and do whatever, kind of go and push the boundaries. And it resulted in some of these really high impact games and some where he was literally invisible. Here though, there's a whole structure built around this tendency, this desire to keep asking these awkward questions of his opponents every round, Wyatt.
It's the combination now of having 3 highly experienced players around him in Asuna, Cryo, and Bang. 3 guys in this server who have been in every single season of VCT with that injection of fresh energy and hunger in the new guys that Asuna mentioned in interview, right? Tino has just been phenomenal. These timings he's catching are so good. And then you can feel the support from Asuna always coming in. But let's see if SEN can run it back now on this attack side. This is their map pick.
Do they have remotely the same levels of swagger when fighting for this early map control? It's really hard against this Sentinels setup. Asuna quickly has to respond. Where the heck did they come from? Narrate gets across to the side. And 100 Thieves did not have the time to set up that architecture before they were collapsed on.
Yeah, intending to try and just disrupt the pack from the duelists, right? Standard, you're going to have your Yoru, send that gate crash, backside, and Narrate dashing up top. And they just find success in the straight-up aim duel wins.
I do think I want to be watching Redux over the course of this half. That's a big point of difference. To have the Yoru, that's something that 100 Thieves have to go without with this comp.
Right, nicely done by that double duelist. I mean, we'll see it on the replay, but I think they just hit some crazy shots. I mean, that was like 300 Thieves players that just got deleted.
We've been raving about the Yoru Waylay comps and their ability to just bypass those chokes in a second. You've even got Omen TP as well. We've seen that also used.
I mean, that's nice. Look at how much that's going to disrupt your crosshair placement, though. Having a guy dashing the top box with a teleport backside, way too much to look at, to adjust to. Not just swinging left or right, but you got it, like, it's crazy. You have to try to get it up to the box, then back down. There's so much going on.
That's going to be the big wrinkle here for 100 Thieves. How do they get this Sage to set up in order to make that impossible, right? Cut the team in half. Maybe the best Arsena can do is prevent the rest of SEN from flooding in behind these duelists. That still doesn't feel optimal.
Arsena, they're basically just saying, why not? I have a classic. I'm just going to main and get this orb. So try and get to the res ASAP. As SEN activate this split into B. Redux slow to clear out. And will the pack go through heaven? Cortez picks up Tino over on the flank as well. Oh, good right timing. Arsena's fearless on this round. Why not? He's got a classic. Okay. Oh my god. There's no way.
Redux with the ghost is just not sharp enough. That should not have happened. None of it.
Oh no. That is such a disaster. Arsena giggling away because he was just no fear in that round. Literally, why not? Just has the classic. Come on, man. Cortez wins that duel opposite side of the map as well, but then, all right, Bora catches him. Not a big deal, but it was Arsena placing the wall to cut off. That's what I'm saying. They can't believe it. NBS can't believe it. I can't believe it. Cryo catches the guy who's stuck behind the wall that can't support. Arsena's getting creative again.
100 Thieves might just be a few rounds away from, for the first time ever, beating Sentinels in a VCT Americas Kickoff. Here's Timo, bristling with confidence. Bora not so fortunate. This is a pretty sensible save from Sentinels. They're up on that A site though.
John has the stinger. Nice shot from Cortez. Oh, that's the spike drop out in the open, though. How can they recover that with Tino in? Oh, my God, man.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he sticks around there and is punished for it, but these are trades that 100 Thieves are happy to take. Now it's got to be up to Redux. Struck squarely by that paranoia.
Gets a rifle.
That slow orb is a bit of an issue for him, though. He's going to get double swung, and that is that. Chalk up another one for 100 Thieves. Sen really just had to let that one go through to the keeper.
Bit of damage, but it's made less relevant considering 100 Thieves got away with 3 guns when they won that eco round. Some nice shots from Tino again. He is dominant in the server, top of the board with 17, 11 deaths.
Nice! Come on, bro.
Looks like Boostio, and he's got the Boostio energy.
Yeah, exactly. If does not give the impression that he's a super loud guy, but bro's got lungs.
100 Thieves now postured up for a mid walk down. 3 players.
Bora calling this audible. All right, this is kind of insane. Oh, it kind of, well, falls flat. No one is really watching that line. There's no trade opportunity for Timo, so they've just given a free kill virtually.
100 Thieves going for an aggro play on a round that they feel likely would have sealed up the game. That would have broken Sen's economy. So mix something ultra disruptive in, but Sentinels really predicting that with the passive watch. Now Redux in trouble. Oh man, 100 Thieves are happy to fight everything. This is a 2-man swing on both extremities, same time.
Some of the wall that comes pretty late into the round is going to be irritating, to say the least. Oh, they're all drifting back towards this A side.
He's just playing like a goblin right now.
This, yeah.
Okay, he drops off.
Although, yeah, Cortez is watching for this angle.
Arsena is out of there. They really think this is going to be a B play for the Thieves.
I'll handle this.
He's now realized that's not the case. At least he had some early warning. Dimensional drift, that was going to allow Redux to spot out a very clear lack of defenders on the site.
Arsena fully committed. The rotates need to get here ASAP to help, but that's a good flashback sight to remove.
Yeah, left himself exposed. I know he didn't want to be caught off the side entirely, but he was overwhelmed instantly.
100 Thieves are definitely playing with a lot of confidence there, and I think a bit overly so in this round, with Arsena trying to find the timing to get back into sight. Really disconnected from where 100 Thieves rotates would have had to be on the minimap to support in time. They're just too late, especially factoring in the Waylay meta and getting rushed down by her. That's just going to be too much.
I mean, that's a round where 100 Thieves for 95% of the time are down a player, and they would just really look to try and remediate that.
Yeah, they push mid, then they push both extremities paired up at once.
And Arsena may be a little too fast to rotate off the A side. I don't know what is the tip-off that, you know, he should be out of there entirely. But then, yeah, he just tries to squeeze himself back into the site, but there's a dimensionally drifting player that can see him.
I think maybe feeling like if they were there, when they hear him drop off the wall, surely they instant try to blow it up and there's a waylay right on top of you. So I think the fact that he gave that audio cue and nothing happened, that might have made them all feel like, okay, they probably are going towards B, right? But they were just, you know, slowly rotating over to that side of the map.
So round number 17 here. 100 Thieves, of course, still with that healthy buffer because, frankly, what happened in the second round of this half, this egregious, classic-driven Thrifty on that anti-eco round, just as SEN was trying to get started, building brick by brick in. John, in contrast to his previous map, has had a very quiet outing here on the controller for this map and has not had that same level of impact.
Can't understate how important this round is right now for SEN's chance at making a comeback. The economy for 100 Thieves, despite winning an eco and stealing SEN's guns away, are now on the precipice of it being broken.
Okay, mid-round dog here. So, oh my goodness, Bang. Tries to step into that space he thought was vacant. It was anything but.
All right, Timo, Cryo finding a moment to silently cross to B.
Bring them down.
100 Thieves feel like the emphasis from SEN will be placed. Timo, 1 kill away from getting those conversion paths, and maybe there's a moment that Asuna could go for a res.
There.
Feels like this is the kind of round where that tempo gain matters off a safe res. And again, back towards A. This time I would find it unlikely for Asuna to commit too deeply.
Looks like he wants to get in. Look at this. 100 Thieves trying to rotate over in
not.
time. Slow. Will offer some delay. Oh, no. That's brutal to get caught.
Oh, hindered up. It is tough to fight from that position. And the spray follow-up catches Cryo out there in screens. That kill, specifically that kill, a huge boon for Sentinels now.
Wow, what a kill from Tino. And the convergent path. Is that getting all 3? No.
Going to catch him on towards elbow here, but nice paranoia in response from John. Knows where Timo's coming in from. And make sure it's lights out for the waylay.
That ends up being a sizable commitment from 100 Thieves that results in, you know, insult added to injury. Not only does SEN win the round now, that breaks their economy. 100 Thieves at different points here could have decided to save. I think, you know, when they have the 2-man left. Well, then Timo gets 1, and they risk it all on the path. So lose the round, economy broken, paths out of the game for a while. That's big for SEN. Comeback can be super legit at this point.
Cryo and Tino hold up in mid both. Sheriffs and Stingers. They thinking about something harebrained here. Asuna just lingers out too long. Narrate has a great sense for where they might be. Look how low these two are in mid, and yet Cryo's still able to get out with a kill. No gun though.
Even though Narrate knows he hit that saturate, even he knows that he shouldn't be committing to it, right? I mean, no sense in going for that aggro of a play to pick off a guy that just has a sheriff and lower HP. Just relax. Don't make a mistake. Don't throw any guns away right now. It's going to be dangerous for Cortez. That wall up, he wants to push through it.
Oh, he might catch him. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's a good catch, but he might go down. There's 2 players flanking him. That's super aggro. Pretty high risk.
Does Bang have the stopping power here, though? Cortez has definitely drawn a couple of 100 Thieves players over towards that side of the map. Doesn't linger too long. Credit to him there. Bang has to get away here with the paranoia. Now fake TP, though. Where could he be? Narrate's looking for him. And it bought enough time for Timo to arrive with the rifle picked from Cortez's body.
Cryo just with that sheriff, but there's never a just with that sheriff for Cryo. He's been hitting some sick shots with it in this series so far. Timo able to maybe get some info, then refract or a free kill into it.
And he had the refract anyway. Now it is up to John. No paranoia here. Just the TP. And he's obviously getting double swung. He cuts that angle up so nicely. There was no chance for Cryo to help, and now it will be down to Timo. No armor, but John is low. Tap of the spike. Gonna have to get up early if you want to come at the king. John will stick around the corner. Little peek, John low on ammunition! And Timo gets there! This guy is unreal, and he has done enough to keep 100 Thieves in the lead.
These eco rounds, simply the undoing of Sentinels on this half, man. is what a victory for 100 Thieves will come down to. Cryo out in the open, 11 HP. Nuts shot from Cortez.
30 seconds.
He's going to regret overcommitting to that. You just don't need to be going for Lurk kills
They're gonna
there.
know your name, Tim. They're gonna know your.
Of course they will. Everyone will.
I mean,
They're not wrong, man. After a showing like this against Sen, the consistent foe of 100 Thieves, as you mentioned, the team that has bested them in every kickoff so far. Timo is turning up, and you can't help but feel like Sen really just threw that one away. Solo plays not necessary. Guns given up. Here's Timo up on the line. Opportunity for the first kill.
Prowler will force Timo to get on out. Again, Nightfall. Catch on, conversion pass. They're going to throw everything out this round. Sentinels are betting the house on it. And they've caught Timo already. There's TP here for Bang, just to get into position. Cortez is close, though, and shuts him down.
Spike planted.
Sentinels have spent extensively here in round number 19, but it looks like it may well have been enough.
I mean, yeah, they've got one flash to try to get back in and use it. They're through screens right now.
Cryo, okay. Gets fortunate there. Slow warp, though, is in his way. Arsena's trying to bide his time. Okay.
Asuna like jump peek there to have the trade come through on the swing. That's a play that he loves to go for, but Sen finding success with it. A nice conversion paths committed from Narrate that just removes Tino from the server as the anchor. He had zero options. Cortez far back. Here's the TP from Bang. Easy crosshair placement to collect from him on that kill.
I don't know if it could be any more excessive than that, though. I mean, Nightfall and convergent paths.
Anti-eco for Sen. Anti-eco alert. They must win this. They must win this. It can't happen for a third time in this half.
Money's looking okay for Sentinels, and bear in mind, in that EG series, they were trailing and then ended up winning out the series once they started to get a bit of momentum.
Redux picks up the anti-eco gun. He has the Outlaw. He's waiting for the aggression. However, it's over on that A side. Okay, so far, so good. Cortez containing.
What?
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no.
Now as well, like, he pushed really deep onto the A side. That is valuable information. This lets 100 Thieves really concentrate 3 players on this stack, but there is time in the round for a cross here through sewer or up mid. And 100 Thieves are kind of matching this already. Is this a pump fake though? Do we go heaven instead?
It looks like it. Asuna with the res, but shouldn't have a chance to use it here. Just slowing them down with the orb. Going to do it again as he's stunned up. Doesn't catch him.
Oh yeah, rough. Not punished for that somehow. Asuna! Don't know how he got out alive, but he still needs to have an impact in this round. That's more important. Teasing some shots out. A lot of footsteps on rafters, and yeah, Asuna just doesn't have the right weapon for that scenario. That window closed long before that moment.
Exposing himself to the long angle, and that should be enough for Sen to close this out. Unless Bora wins an isolated 1v1, over in B main, maybe opportunity there. Huge fight coming up.
It could be free. No, John knows. Fully aware. Happy just to keep him contained in B main for the time. Being at Redux, well, satisfy himself with a couple of easy kills. Before he's done it again, also takes a minimum of damage in that exchange. Keeping a cap on this Sen economy could make the comeback, the run back, that much more difficult.
But Redux, third on the round to deal with him. Dimensional Drift moving into the next. Could definitely see Sen going for an easy 1-2. Dimensional Drift, clear out the site. Cortezia drops the pit. Keep it nice and simple. But there would be counters for the pit from 100 Thieves, as they have a lot of ults heading into this. Importantly, Seekers to try and locate the Viper in there. And then when you do get the info on the player's location, convergent paths from Tino. So
Let's go.
This could be an ult combo type round coming up out of the timeout being called.
2 out of 3 of 100 Thieves round wins in this half have been on Sheriffs or some form of awkward low buy. If not for those moments, Sentinels may well have already caught them. So that aside, 100 Thieves, now we need to see what they can do in the gun round with some real tools at their disposal. With this entire back shed full of ultimates.
I mean, yeah, if not for those eco rounds, look at the state of the Sen economy. They got ecoed twice, and they're still up to 7K on a player, everyone 3K plus minimum, which is a testament to when they are winning these rounds, they're pretty clean. They're getting a lot of guns saved into those next rounds, and that's honestly been part of the reason they're still in this game, is that they haven't been forced onto ecos themselves often at all. And Redux coming to life here, not matching Tino and kills on the board.
Very much an inflection point now. A lot rides on this round. It doesn't mean curtains for the economy of Sentinels, but it gets 100 Thieves that much closer. And if they can say, if they win around here, save some ultimates, then dangerous, dangerous for Sentinels.
Very early pit now in mid. Pretty standard though, from your Viper, just to try and deny that space. And Austin, they're throwing that fast, slow orb, wanting to force Sentinels to need to, maybe re-clear this with some util, but they just wait for the dark cover to drop and get multiple players swinging out of it. Silent contact take.
Bang is stacked here with Timo on the low ground. No heaven presence at all, and Narrate's walked into it, straight into a crossfire TP attempt there, but Timo's gonna at least find the trade, and then what? Then what? Sentinels stuck back out in B main with the Vipers still very much in the game. Seekers trained on their location.
Frankly, I'm just confused at the lack of dimensional drift being used to get in there. Find the location of a player, disrupt positioning, then have Narrate go for the light speed, double dash in, knows where to throw the saturate right away, can get an easier kill. I don't understand why that ult just isn't used on an execute in this round. On a round where 100 Thieves are at 11, that's honestly kind of perplexing.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds left. They're trying to make the dash towards A. They're going to be able to get into the site. Cortesia can and should be dropping the pit on this round, no doubt. They need to win this 3v4 out. At least they've gotten the Forest Seekers out. They've gotten that Convergent Paths out. Well, awesome, the easy res.
10 seconds left.
It'll be more difficult to clear them out of this pit. That could be their saving grace.
So with 4-5 players now return, they're going to go for it. John sees Timo coming. 3 players in that spawn direction now. Cryo going to try to keep them out. Double swing into them. This is getting costly for 100 Thieves. They're down to 3. But Cryo taking John out of the game is big. It's just Cortesia left. He's made his way over towards screens. And he has to go absolutely monumentally big to keep Sen's head above the water. Player on the spike, trying to spray it, and shows himself. There's the defuse, and 100 Thieves get 2 match points.
Just able to defuse around the corner there as well. I just don't know about that round, man. I think Sen could have approached that in a much simpler way, just with ults here. I mean, Narrate is dashed in, doesn't know there's a player backside. If they drift in, they know it's there. Also, if they're just going for the TP play backside, the TP is like, I'm really confused at what just happened there.
It's rushed. It's
yeah,
just a bit rushed.
And obvious timeout coming in here now, not just to get a strat for this last round on the bye, I think from Kaplan, but these guys are going to be frustrated how that played out. We got to calm the nerves if we're Sen and lock back in.
And the body language, we've seen it a couple times as we've been around the grounds in this series. There's been fingernails getting chewed. Definitely these Sentinels players feeling frustrated, looking frustrated. And again, you're getting ecoed twice on this half. Rounds like that last one kind of fall flat. The planning's not there. Maybe they just get ahead of themselves. Remember, these are 2 teams with rookie callers coming up from challenges. It's Caillou and Vora, both trying to show the fruits of their labor at, frankly, a pretty early stage of their Tier 1 careers. And some of the ideas from the 100 Thieves camp, the team comps we've seen, especially what we saw in that previous map, that is giving them the edge here, alongside Tino just being unleashed and clearly looking free to express himself in his playstyle.
Yeah, if you're a 100 Thieves fan, this outfit that they have this year is strong, with a combination of the new talent, fresh ideas from their coaching staff, a renowned coach and Doom Bros and NBS for the Sen as well. They've been around forever. They have the experience. Let's see if 100 Thieves can close this out, or if Sen can make the comeback and bring us to OT. They have that dimensional drift out of the timeout. What is the plan that Kaplan has given them? Cortesia was early on that A side, but now rotating off. Looks like they want to work into some kind of B hit, but main controlled right now by Bang. Has the ability to take a first engagement, try to quick TP away if necessary.
Where does this dimensional drift fit into the game plan for Sentinels? You know they've planned to use it here. They've got no other option.
100 Thieves are pretty baited into stacking up towards A right now. There was even that rotate from Cryo, but he's quick to get back towards B Heaven. Vora alongside him on that rotate. If they split into B here, Sentinels, the main fight is so pivotal. What can Bang accomplish? Or will John be able to just remove him from this side of the map?
Senna teasing the ropes.
I mean, honestly, that's given the game away. I think that's made it obvious. Austin is already on the rotate.
Yep.
Oh, no, he does stop. He does stop.
Second guessed himself. Drift onto the B site now. Bang has to step back and he just gets caught out. Nothing you could do, John, just a little better there. Redux gets into the backside. What you want to see from your Yoru. That Timo would have had to have done something absurd to win that engagement out. And all things considered, pretty quiet from 100 Thieves as Sentinels finally starting to look like they're composed after that timeout. Kaplan's whipped him into shape. And Cryo is looking black and blue.
Yeah, great job on that execute with Redux getting in back sight, able to get that one kill. But crucially, it was that B main fight that I mentioned, John, just being able to best Bang there in the 1v1. If Bang wins that out and is a nuisance, all of a sudden that attempt at actually splitting is pretty nullified, right? So John getting a crucial kill on a map that has been more silent than his Tejo on Corrode, but stepping up when they need him.
I take credit for the curse. I think I coined the previous map as one of the best we've seen from him, and we've seen some incredible maps from him. In a loss, he was able to look fantastic. Sentinels here, trying to stay alive in our middle round. Drop down to the lowers, and then it could be all over.
I mean, that's John just catching the Bang actually on the retreat. They were forcing him back. And 100 Thieves, I mean, they had so much money. Actually, they don't even have that much money. I thought they were going to have a bit more at this point, but no, a couple players there just walking in, throwing the guns away. So if Sen win this round, the 100 Thieves buy for the last round is going to be pretty messy. Puts them in an awkward spot.
Can they get it done with this Stinger and rifle assortment? Sentinels really heavy presence on A.
Yeah,
Asuna can't get deep into B to confirm this, but now they're going to know. Bora trying to fight in the middle of the action. Going to be John, though, for 2 and 3. Yet again, he's put Sentinels in a winning position, muscling his way into heaven. Now he'll stick around and make sure 100 Thieves can't pull at the threads.
Just lights them up. When they needed him most, he is back. Both 100 Thieves players trying to maneuver through heaven. John could catch the timing to seal this round up. Nice cross here from Cortesia as well.
John's been behind him this whole time. Asuna's not going to be ready for it at all. And an ace from John QT. Brilliant.
That is his second of the series, by the way. One on each map. Shooting off the scoreboard.
He was 4 and 10.
Oh, look at that. Nice little transfer down to the rope, and then really patient, finds the perfect moment. And Sen also, you know, even if they have a nice crossfire with one guy backside, John in heaven, Cortesia in main, and because of 100 Thieves not saving on that other round and kind of throwing their last couple guns away, their buy here is modest at best. Couple stingers, Guardian, etc. You know, Asuna and Tino, the guys with rifles, you definitely want Timo to have one.
Brilliance there from Sentinels and are able to double down. It's Redux who has Timo Cryo just run straight at him. Asuna at least able to assert himself here, but it's not remotely enough, not with John on the side, Bang as low as he is. And quick as you know it, we're off to overtime.
They're just overrun on that round. What was going on in Mail with Redux? They thought they had a timing to catch him off a teleport, I think? Just double jump into him with pistols, and he gets an easy little two-piece, and then swift from Sen back out in main. Narrate here, immediate off of that Prowler onto Asuna.
I told you. Yo, let me ace, let me call you the round.
All right, John's back home. Whoa.
Calling the round?
That's crazy.
He was 4 and 10, now 16 and 12.
Hey, he said he still likes to throw in those ideas sometime, like supplemental caller for Caillou, who's going to be in charge the majority of the time. Redux up to 27 kills. That is sick from him. The bounce back from week 1 is definitely continuing. Can Sen take us to map 3 now? After stringing 3 in a row to take us to OT.
This puts Hunter Thieves, though, back on the attack side. Obviously, their composition lets them get into B without being pressured from Heaven. That's why you've got no Heaven presence, really, for Sen here. They know that Sage Wall is always going to be a factor. They want to fight here in the side.
Paranoia definitely going to deny 100 Thieves for now if they had any intentions of legitimately getting in with that timing window.
Cryo, again, this is what we saw earlier in that first half from him. Really passive, just holding a line, not pushing up. So he'll start to drift over and maybe give them a mid to Heaven Lurk prospect now.
Yeah, it looks like they just want to go for a straight up B hit, Cryo, delay, maybe catch a rotate in mid, double dash coming through.
Timo's in, but not fully committed. Doesn't hit backside. Definitely gets Sentinel scurrying around a little bit. Redux caught inside that slow orb right now. This is classy work from Timo. Redux able to take the trade, but only one more for him. That puts Cryo in the right from the outside looking in, and Cryo has been waiting. Slow, patient round here from the Viper.
30 seconds left.
And he'll put Cryo in a very uncomfortable spot.
Even at that, taking no risks, just molly down, backs away, triple up. 100 Thieves ready to just play this textbook, close this out.
No one showing anything.
Goodbye.
Vora there caught out. That's just not a line that was being watched. Too deep was Cryo's position in that back corner, and so 100 Thieves get their attack round after a spell. And Timo fighting in the side still looks just as good as it did on the first half.
It's that swarm coming through on site. John needing to deal with a pillar wrap from Tino. Redux can't really do much to swing or assist from that angle. He's playing backside in the slow, tries his best with the 2-piece, but not enough.
Oh, Matt, you are nice, bro.
And then Cryo is just late, patient in mid, playing to the intentions of the plan, which is let everyone else make the noise and find that timing window to just get the closeout of the round with ease. Listen, we've seen that a lot from Cryo. His lurking has been really solid. How many kills have we seen him get just shooting someone in the back? I mean, we're used to seeing the jet op Cryo in the past, the chamber op Cryo, which is a little bit back. He's played plenty different duelists. He was playing Yoru with 100 Thieves, running a lot of double duelists early into Stage 2 last year. But now going to a completely different path of the game. Lurking, playing Sentinel, playing Viper here. And he is really solid. This was a point of skepticism in the offseason with the changes that 100 Thieves were making. When they bring in Tino, he's going to be your main duelist. But listen, so far, it is definitely working.
Don't forget, we did get Cryo on controllers last year. Brimstone on Bind always.
Oh yeah, that was
right?
his classic, the Brim on Bind. That was his switch up, the Bind Brim.
Yeah. It was always a good look. He was always very active, fighting in the A side on defense, inside those smokes. Now, Sentinels looked really good on these attack side rounds towards the end of regulation, so surely not a whole lot to retool here.
Austin placing that wall over in A main early. Opportunity for them to close out the game, take Sen's map pick.
Austin is always trying to leave the site early. Look at this. Again, he's already gone. Back into Heaven, but pulled off away from main pretty quickly.
100 Thieves ready for a bit of a double face into mid. Crowd jiggling. I mean, what is that spray? What is that? All of a sudden, the entry player for Sen is down. The space creator removed.
Okay, there's Cortez.
That's a hell of a shot.
Gonna open up that A side of the map. Cortez always wanted to chime in with some ungodly accuracy at an important moment.
Opens it up, but they don't want to accelerate just yet. 100 Thieves on this silent re-clear of mid.
Leave Timo, yep.
Maybe resulting in a situation where a flanker like Tino will be faster than Sen expect. And when their hit comes in, could set up a crossfire fighting from main while one of the 100 Thieves players or multiple get the screens.
This is slower, though, than I expected. I think they're waiting for some of these cooldowns to come back around. And so Sen are going to hit the site, but look at how close behind him Timo is. He's really managed to cover some ground here. He's going to be ready to fight.
Yeah, Bit of an accidental team flash. Everyone from SEN relegated to backside. They're going to have to work together, set up some good crossfires to win these duels.
Saturator, is there any way to play with that, though? It's unclear. Timo's very, very low. Bang is asking for more. Knocking on the door. Vora ready to swing off him there as well. And Vora is able to win it out. It's going to be Timo v John. The two standouts. And John shuts him down yet again. Any problem you have, leaky faucet, flat tire, risk of losing the series, just call John.
Tino trying to work with his bread and butter there. We've seen him clutch with the dash-in shotguns a couple times just throughout the entirety of Kickoff. Honestly, it always feels like a sure play when you're watching it. But John is able to get that spray down in time. Kaplan is elated. And they are still in the mix. It's not over just yet. What was John's stat line again? And now he's at 19 for 13.
4 and 10.
Crazy. All right, pace back from Tino to get up ramp. 100 Thieves. Intentions of working quickly here and there. It wants to slow it down with a hinder.
Back to the site for Narrate. Play a little safer. Leave Redux tucked in here. Under rafters. Cryo out. Narrate a little wayward. This is... it's not clean, I'll say that much. Redux inside the smoke here. Shorty makes short work of Timo. The Sentinels are down a player until Cortezia gets in, but it is 100 Thieves all up and on this site, and rafter presence for Bang could be dangerous.
Arsena close up with the Shorty. Everyone from SEN trying to get out of screens right now. Bang on the swing. Perfect timing. What a shot.
Oh, and no more than that required from 100 Thieves. Arsena, a real problem there in elbow. And once again, they will take advantage in this overtime.
Bang really has looked sharp today with the Phantom. Those jiggle peaks, crosshair as steady as it gets. Vora up in heaven catching that one was nice. And, you know, I thought Cortezia was going to bring it back when he removes Vora, removes any potential from a heaven swing. They can focus forward. The shots from Bang were just too nice, too clean.
Glass cannon up for Timo.
Mixing it up, playing over towards A main right now. Teleport from Redux is all the way thrown towards A, so that definitely implies that he wants to make some noise, get back there. They go into this A hit. Dog, so Timo can get on the line.
No connection there. I think it might have been a clone. Up to the side we go now. Very quickly, Vora's going to have to tuck his way back into elbow. Redux could be in trouble here. Has to get crashed out because of the snake bite, but still got Cryo on the backside. Vora again anchoring well, and Arsena doggedly fights for that heaven position. Got to top himself back up, but this is getting a little bit uncomfortable. Claustrophobic as it was. Arsena Houdini's his way out of the coffin. And now it's on John and Cortezia. Running together. Usually the saviors for so many of these Sentinels rounds. They've got to do it yet again. And Bang looking for a timing. They're just too fast. Heads on swivels. Cortezia and John shut the duo down. And now Vora called up from Tier 2. Called up to call for one of the most iconic franchises in VCT. Has to 1v2 these two to win the series?
Cortezia as well. About to get the hit off this plant. Going to pop that right away. Vora, no utility to work with. Has to go through this dark cover as well. What a nightmare, but what a shot!
What? Vora almost had it! Moments away from some real filthy stuff. Cortezia shuts him down, and once again, we'll see 100 Thieves go back on the attack side. Round number 29.
100 Thieves are just simply cursed to play out infinite 1v2s where their player gets one, gets so close, but just cannot win out the clutch. Cortezia jumping to the side, swift to get the Vandal back out. And they're not done just yet. When will a team win on defense? It has just not come yet.
Okay, deep breath. Chance to recoup here. 100 Thieves on these attack side rounds been pretty flawless. Both sides have been able to get in. You can imagine the blood pressure inside the 100 Thieves coaching booth. I mean, both of them in fairness, but haven't come so close to closing out the series, but having players needing to clutch out under ridiculous circumstances. It's been ridiculous. And I wonder if someone's mouse has just run out of juice out there.
SEN just will not let them win this game. 3 rounds at the end of regular time to tie it up, bring it to OT. 100 Thieves win the first round twice, but SEN bring it back to win. 2v3 that time. Relentless.
Sentinels have been adamant that this is not a rivalry. We kick their asses every time. And they're not wrong. This would be, like we said, the first time 100 Thieves have beaten Sentinels at a VCT Americas Kickoff. That has some symbolism to it. It matters. Getting off on the front foot, representing your region in the first global event of the year, these matter not just for status, but also as vindication for two rosters that have taken some big risks. Taking a step back in some senses, maybe stripping back the seniority of these teams to try and raise the ceiling, to try and go further than even some of both these teams' star-studded teams in the past have failed to reach.
For me, this 100 Thieves team, throughout, honestly, their entire history, are so often making people believers. They go on a run of insane games. Like, think back to the beginning of Stage 2 last year. They were tearing everybody up at the start of that double duelist era. And then they just falter at the end when it's in playoffs, when it's getting closer to time to actually qualify for a global. They give you these runs of greatness, but not enough to make the international events. And this is a moment where it does feel like what they've put together could be good enough to make it.
And this is a pretty unique situation. Don't always run into these sort of breaks in the action in overtime. It's an audio issue that's being diagnosed at the moment. But how does this affect things? An intense overtime after, honestly, a really back and forth map. And the rate just, we're having a discussion about what he can do to tweak some of those audio levels, but now, if there's any kickers out there, they've been well and truly iced. You obviously don't get to consult with your coaches during this period of time. This is not a strategizing window. So now you kind of got to remember what your coach told you, a few rounds ago.
Yeah, not a lot of consulting when Narrate also can't really hear. He needs to fix that headset so we can get back into this.
A lot of fandom riding on this game. Two orgs that always want those bragging rights. 100 Thieves who've had to take a back seat.
Oh yeah, social media managers with bated breath right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which post do they make?
But it's usually been, 100 Thieves put in the corner in stage one or in that kickoff. Watching Sentinels get off to the start they were looking for early, go out and represent. I mean, saw what happened in Madrid. I think they as a franchise really feel like it's their time. They feel like they're next up to represent the region at Globals, but there's a lot happening at the strata above these two as well in the upper bracket. It's never been tougher. The Super Team, MIBR, the World Champions, NRG, G2 Esports, they're all up there. And they're all teams that these guys are going to have to reckon with at some point. 100 Thieves already going up against G2. A relatively compelling series. We got to see their Cryo debuted, that unique team comp that we saw come out again today. 100 Thieves want to be in that bracket. They want to be in that room. Not fighting for their, not lives, but fighting to save face here in the middle bracket.
And don't forget Fury.
Oh, yeah.
The sleeper hitters that have made it through into the current top 4. Oh, wow, he's like that? With the hand warmers?
Yeah, like it. I mean, again, you're trying to keep yourself dialed in to some degree, right? You've had some really intense rounds, and anyone who's tried to concentrate on something for long enough knows that the break-in action is definitely going to make it hard to get yourself reacquainted with match conditions, with that level of pressure. Especially because these two teams are about as close as you can get. These rounds have gone about as close as they can. The 100 Thieves have had to try and 1v2 on 2 separate occasions to get out of this series and not have to deal with the prospect of Pearl looming around the corner.
I feel like I'm seeing a lot of 100 Thieves support in the chat pop-ups right now.
Yeah.
See, another one. That's like 5 in a row. People are loving this new 100 Thieves.
I also think that there's always as the start of every 100 Thieves campaign, I think is always exciting. I'm always interested in what they're doing, right? They looked last year as well. I'm thinking, okay, what's the move for this team, right? Like Xander's in the mix. Okay, we loved him in challenge. I thought he could go really far. Boostio, there was questions about how he would sort of step into this team. We knew that Cryo and Arsenal would sort of continue to deliver, but everyone was asking, how do we move from being like genuinely solid 3rd through 6th place team in Americas to consistently qualifying for these global events. Like, what do we have to do? We have some of the longest standing players in VCT Americas, and we can't accept the fact that that would need to change. We need to keep them here. How do we build around them more adequately? So they put those players into that real veteran position. And finally, it feels like this year more than any other. Last year, I feel like we drew the curtain back on Brazil's tier 2, right? Players like Cortesia came into the mix. We had 2G appeared. We saw Artesian, you know, increase his game, look so much better. We realized Brazil was alive and well. This year, I feel like so many teams going to the well of challenges in America, bringing so much talent forward. It's their time to shine.
Time for the players to dial back in after a little break. Sentinels on defense. The side in the server that these teams just have not been able to figure out in OT. Tino fast at mid with the rest of the team, just playing around this cloud for the moment. As a Crossfire is set up by Sen, and actually backing off, but it was watching towards mail for at least a moment before clearing out some space with this Trailblazer. And Tino can garner it off the back of the knowledge that his initiator got. But some of Thieves actually pivoting everyone towards a main, leaving the Waylay on the Lurk right now.
Redux is starting to get pretty antsy on that B side. He's been able to get pretty far forward. So this allows for a drift over of John. He's heading over to A to help out. And there's eyes turned towards drop. Yeah, Cryo concerned about a wrap from mid here. That's definitely on the cards at this time. It's really about finding the timing. Cortesia is going to have his back turned for it though, and Timo emerges. Cortesia, no chance to do a thing about it. Cryo cut out in the open now, especially guns trained in all directions. And he had nowhere to go. Once again, great opening sequence here for 100 Thieves on these attack side rounds.
The Tino on that Lurk definitely gets a lot accomplished. Finds the moment to get the kill on Cortesia, and then straight after that, oh, spam through from Neri. This is getting awkward. Is really expecting that someone is in vents.
He can't get out of here.
He is right. Timo is chilling, man.
Bang unbothered, low in health, but knows Timo can just pop back up. They'll have a Crossfire set up, potentially, making use of this smoke. I mean, Nare looks a little lost in that kind of moment. Timo for 3 in the round, conversion paths earned, and made extensive use of to close a flawless round here for 100 Thieves.
Definitely making a name for himself in Kickoff and in this series. Absolute phenom pulled up from tier 2 with this TSM core that is merged with 100 Thieves here.
And these timings he is finding, it's an innate sense for them.
You could just see the effectiveness on Waylay again.
I don't know what was happening before.
With the double dash out, Heaven just breaks the crosshair of the anchor. Free kill for 100 Thieves when they pull out of main. Again, 100 Thieves win the first round. They have to close it out. But Sen have been unrelenting in this situation. They've clutched up. Will they do it again? Will there be another series of OT rounds? Tino's back to the rifle. Last time was using that glass cannon operator, shying away from here.
Hundred Thieves are not afraid to stick their necks out for each other in mid. Poison Orb has just been thrown down now, so there's some room to breathe here. Timo's going for it. I mean, I think Sen have been playing for this. They've been waiting for something like that. Can they do a thing about it? No opportunity. But this is time. Bled down. We're down to a minute here. Still limited information for Sentinels about what the map looks like.
Tino just waiting to safely cross back. Sen gathering up for this A hit after making some presence known towards that middle side. It's just Asuna on a ultra passive position, basically playing for spam. We've seen him really willing though to try and get back sight during hit timings. Looks like he might be thinking about doing it again, but this time, you know, in contrast to some previous rounds like this, he has support getting into the site. Now doubled up with Cryo.
Eyes on Tino here. He could be huge. Flashed out. Can he escape? Good. Saturate, but it's a clone. Still will be able to double dash away. Vorid steps in. He's always able to find these running little kills. There's Asuna inside the smoke looking good, but John always an issue. He's found yet another one. Cryo, those kept the dream alive here for 100 Thieves. Plant going down. Cryo behind the screens here. Swing timing is perfect, and John has to do it again. With 22 health, it's too much to ask. Cryo shuts it down. And we'll finally have the defuse here to give 100 Thieves their first dub against the Sentinels franchise in VCT Americas Kickoffs.
Incredible showing from rookie Tino there. I mean, phenomenal play on split. We saw him not only just racking up kills on account of the mechanics, but on those attack rounds, the intelligent timings that he was finding to get opening picks, the amount of first kills he got there, really sick. Racks up 8 in that game. Stunning play from him.
And it's crazy that that's enough to overshadow Redux dropping 34 for the map, 294 ACS. Generally just a workhorse out there. Less flashy, less double dashing in. We were wondering where this sort of backside gate crashes and dimensional drifts were supposed to be. And we thought there were a couple of rounds where maybe the connection between